Now class, go back and think about it. What is your dream? And what choices are you going to make so that this dream can come true? Okay, everyone go back and think about it. Class then.
What is the future I dream of? want to be in a school with rich history and heritage, where I can boldly chase my dreams, where the teachers care for me, and where learning is fun and enjoyable. A school where my thoughts and views are valued, where every student has a voice, where I can learn to be a leader who thinks and cares and learns to empathize and serve those in need. To pick up some important skills so that I'm ready when the time comes. To hone and apply my talents in service of others. I dream I could be a performer, one who is able to express myself confidently and build strong bonds and friendships with those who perform alongside me. To take pride in the fine details, and if I'm lucky, even perform before the nation. And delight audiences with my talents and skills. I dream I could be an athlete. To look challenges straight in the eye. To push myself to be the best I can be. To train hard and build resilience. To persevere when the going gets tough. And one day, represent my school at the National School Games. With my teammates, friends, and teachers cheering me on all the way. There are so many things I dream I could do. So many things I could be. How am I going to create the future I dream of? I know just the place for me.
Hello parents and potential Swiss students. Swiss Cottage welcomes you. Standing where I am, this is the school foyer where you'll be welcomed every day by the principal himself. Come along with me, let me show you the school. Oh, don't forget to check in. Here's a standard secondary 4 classroom. The graduating cohorts are equipped with air-conditioned classroom as well as lockers on top of the standard classroom furniture. The classrooms are thoughtfully designed to ensure that our students learn in the most conducive environment possible. I'm looking forward to one of these classrooms next year. It is definitely a bonus feature for me. This is the library. The library, besides its usual function of holding many current and popular reading titles, it is also a place where you can find many useful books for project works as well as deepen one's learning. Our school library functions beyond just a haven for reading pleasure. It also hosts many learning rooms for some lessons to take place. There's also a GP room that boasts of a recording capability when lessons need to be recorded. Situated above the school canteen, the hall is also just in front of the staff room. This huge space is where the daily national anthem as well as pledge taking take place. This is also the place where the CCA floorball carries out its weekly practices. In addition, this hall serves as the examination venue for the graduating cohorts. The hall continually undergoes upgrade and new refurbishment to bring in some of the state-of-the-art equipment so that weekly assemblies can be well supported. Here's the basketball court. This is where the basketball boys and girls train at. Oh, did I also mention this place is newly surfaced? See, this is an example of our school constantly improving the facility so that our students can have a better learning experience. The ISH is a 4-story tall facility and it is where PE and my CCA basketball, also badminton, take place. The hall complements ISH and both are important venues to improve the physical ability of our students. We have a special space for applied learning to take place. It is where we connect geography and science with the real world. Currently anchored by the science department, hence you'll see many displays related to science. You will get to enjoy this space when you join us next year. Three different labs in the school to support your scientific pursuits. We have physics, biology and chemistry labs. They are well equipped with all the necessary equipment to support your learning. These learning spaces will be new for you next year. But before you enter any of the labs, do remember to familiarize yourself with the rules. Feeling Picasso? Here's the art room where art lessons take place, of course. Aspiring artists can find comfort in here learning theories as well as taking practical hands-on lessons with our art teachers. You see these art pieces? They are our student masterpieces. Pretty, aren't they? The school even offers higher art to students who intend to take art as a subject even beyond secondary school level. Another learning space for you next year. Regardless if you're a girl or boy, you will undergo food and nutrition lessons in the kitchen. I thoroughly enjoy learning the basics of food science and how it is a now popular subject for many upper secondary students. The school has several fully equipped computer labs as well as 3 other smaller rooms for technology-infused lessons. The lab is also catered for students who take up computer application as a subject. The computers are updated annually to ensure that our students have better learning experience. Every classroom also has Apple TV. Ready to set sail with me? Will you be taking helm of the boat? Here's a special place for student leaders like myself where we hold meetings and events. It is a newly set out room to allow the space for us to develop our leadership skills. With the knowledge of leadership skills, we will be able to develop and apply that to real events where we will plan and execute them. Currently, we're having a virtual camp aiming to develop our leadership skills. I can't wait to have you join our team and eventually becoming the captain of your life. That's it for today's tour. I hope you enjoyed it and we are looking forward to have you as a Swiss student in 2022. Goodbye!
Hello everyone, have you caught my dreams? Swiss Cottage is where my dreams are being built. Today, I'm going to introduce to you important people in Swiss Cottage who are helping me to build my dreams. They are the principal, Mr. Sherwin Cheng, the head of departments, teachers in charge of Applied Learning Program and Learning for Life program, CCA representatives, as well as several student leaders. May this session be as informative and helpful for you to build your own dreams.
A very good morning to all parents and prospective Swiss students. Thank you for joining us today for our virtual open house. In light of the current situation, we have no choice but to communicate with you via a virtual means. We hope in time to come, we'll be able to invite you to come and join us as Swiss students, and Swiss Cottage will be your number one choice. I have 15 minutes to really bring you through a very quick sense of what we do in Swiss Cottage and how we can value add to your child's development, especially in terms of their leadership development in Swiss Cottage. After which, we are going to show you some other information about the school. Our students will be talking to you. And finally, we're going to have a question and answer segment, which we'll try our best to answer the questions that you may have. First, let me start off by assuring all students and parents that we have a very holistic and very rigorous curriculum in Swiss Cottage. In terms of the curriculum, it's being divided into three main pieces. The very first piece you can see on the slide here is the Thoughtful Leadership Program. Here, we're going to develop all our students to become leaders in their own right. They will be able to manage themselves, they'll be able to lead others, and eventually they are able to lead in the community. In the second component, we have the Student Development Program. This is where we are going to develop your child to be an upright citizen of Singapore who is caring to the family. And finally, we have our instructional program. This is our academic development program. We're going to develop in your child that intellectual excellence so that they can go out and make a difference. I've shown here a list of subjects that your child can choose to take from Sec 3 onwards. It is quite common in many schools, but I'll just highlight a few differences. The first one is that all our students offering the Express course will offer the pure sciences as well as additional mathematics. We do that because we believe all our students will be able to cope with the rigor of the pure sciences as well as the additional mathematics. In the normal academic course, the majority of students will offer at least one subject at the Express level. We provide our students from Sec 1 that opportunity for them to do subjects that they are able to cope at a more demanding level. And that provides them with a good foundation when they prepare for their N-levels examinations as well as eventually for the Express O-levels examination. For the normal technical course, we offer what other schools offer with one addition. And on the screen you can see now the Smart Electrical Technology. This course can be taken in lieu of science when your child applies to ITE for courses. In terms of CCA, we have a good range that we offer here. On top of the CCA that you can see on my screen right now, we invite our students to initiate interest areas. We call them interest groups. If they find that they're able to attract enough friends to join them. At this moment, we have an interest group in Frisbee, and another group is starting volleyball. I've also have a few students who have come to me to ask whether or not they can start an art club. The starting of interest group is very much up to the student, and we'd like to encourage our students beyond their normal academic time, their CCA time, to pursue passion that they would like very much to pursue. We also have a very strong talent development program. I've shown you the pictures of some of the activities that our students take part in. For example, the World Scholar Club, the Future Problem Solving programs, as well as the IT Ignite program. Our students participating in the talent development program can look forward to exchanges with students overseas. And if they are able to make it to the World Finals overseas, we're prepared to fund their travel overseas so that they can benefit from that mingling and interaction with students all over the world. We also have a very strong internationalization program. Because of the caliber of students, we feel that, and we strongly believe that our students will eventually take on roles beyond Singapore. And therefore, it is important for us to start your child right when they join us. All students will get an opportunity to travel. The only reason why your child do not want to travel is because they choose not to. And in terms of the programs that we have next year, so one thing that will happen for all students will be the personalized digital learning program. In Swiss Cottage, we have decided to adopt the iPad as the tool for your child's learning in the classroom. You can see in the picture the seniors during home-based learning this year, as well as when they came back eventually. The use of technology strongly aided their academic development after home-based learning has ended. As I walk around the school, I can see many of the seniors, especially the graduating batches, using the iPads as tools for them to do their revision, work on papers, the past year papers from other schools, past year's O-level questions, and so on. We are very proud to say that despite the crisis that we're facing right now, our students have managed to leverage opportunities to become more self-directed, and I'm very confident that they will become better learners and they will become better future adults. The school is a school of excellence. Primarily, we are very strong academically. I've given you some context to it. The majority of our express course students are able to qualify for the junior college option. All our students in the express course has been able to qualify for the polytechnics. Around 1/3 of our students in the normal academic course qualifies for the Poly Foundation program. The Poly Foundation program is only meant for the top 12% of the normal academic cohort. In terms of distinctions, we have 40% of our 4 express students being able to achieve 6 or more distinctions. So you can rest assured that when you join Swiss Cottage, you will get a very rigorous academic program. You'll be able to do well academically. We have a holistic program, and therefore, in terms of school excellence, we have also done extremely well in the CCA areas. All our uniform groups are actually gold or distinction award units. This is only possible because of the hard work our students put in and the guidance that our teachers have put in to guide our students to achieve the best. I've given you a picture of Swiss Winds at the National Day Parade. Our Swiss Winds is actually the National Cadet Corps Command Band, the one and only in Singapore. And because they represent the National Cadet Corps, they have opportunities on a yearly basis to take part in the National Day Parade. They get opportunities also to work with their seniors, to talk to the President, and in this case here, the Parade Commander of the National Day Parade, who is a Swiss alumni. Other achievements, sports, we have been doing extremely well. For example, floorball girls, they have been the national runner-up for 2 years in running. Our Swiss badminton team, the girls team, has consistently came in top 4 in the West Zone. We have also done well in soccer as well as bowling. Basketball, we've just started the girls team. They are doing extremely well right now, and the boys team, the boys basketball team, has also been rising. So join us. You will find fulfillment in becoming stronger and better in what you do. For the clubs in society, we continue to win awards despite the current COVID situation. Our students took part in different competitions and has done well. In terms of all-round excellence, we have 4 award holders at this moment who have been awarded the Lee Kuan Yew All-Round Excellence Award. This award is given only to the best students who has excelled not only academically but in various other areas, including their CCAs. We have excellent teachers in Swiss Cottage. At this moment, we have 3 teachers who have won the Outstanding Youth in Education Award. This award is being given to the top teachers aged 35 and below. Other outstanding teachers include Madam Tang, who was being awarded the Outstanding History Teacher Award, as well as 2 Caring Teacher Awards at the national level, Ms. Jama and Ms. Ong Ching Ching. I'm going to spend a little bit of time to talk about full subject-based banding. For your year, almost half of the secondary schools will be part of this program called full subject-based banding. And what is it about? I have some examples here to show you. Professor Loh Teck Seng, Dr. Chua Kun Ting. I've just received his wedding invitation to attend his wedding in November. Sashi, Deborah, and Mr. Tan Boon Huat. If you look at them through their pictures, you wouldn't have guessed which course of study, which stream that they are from. Let me assure you that I have students or alumni from all streams here: Express, Normal Academic, and Normal Technical. This is a very important example that students, regardless of the course of study, will be able to find success regardless of where their starting point is. As long as you work hard towards your dreams, towards your goal, your stream does not matter. And therefore, in Swiss Cottage, we have set up a system and structure to allow students, regardless of their stream, their course of study, to be able to interact freely, without biases, so that they can all grow collectively. In the slides right now, I've shown you one example of our student who has benefited from the previous carnation of the full SBB. We call it the subject-based banding. For subject-based banding, what it means is that regardless of what stream you're in, as long as you have shown that you're able to perform or do a subject at a more demanding level, you can do so, and that is for English, mathematics, science, and your mother tongue. Full subject-based banding goes further than this. There are 2 ways in which you will be able to benefit from full subject-based banding. The first one is that you'll be able, like what you are seeing in the picture right now, to interact and make friends with students across the different courses. You spend 33% of your curriculum time in your form classes to do art, CCE, design and technology, food and consumer education, music and PE. In these form classes, you will be interacting with friends regardless of the course of study. When you're doing your subject classes, which is approximately 66% of your curriculum time, for your English, mother tongue language, math, science, and humanities, you'll be divided into classes based on the subject at the G1, G2, or G3 level. So in short, you're going to get the best of both worlds. You'll be able to learn the subject at the level that you'll be most comfortable with, to be able to stretch yourself in the academic area, but at the same time, for 33% of your curriculum time, you'll be able to interact across the different courses of study. This will equip you with the necessary skills to be able to go out eventually to the workforce or to the social life, to be able to interact and make friends with different people from different walks of life. The Swiss students have also advocated for this. Since my time here, many of them have come forward and advocate for streamlined education in Swiss Cottage. They asked me, can we do this further beyond the CCAs? Can we do this further beyond the trips that they go together? Can we do it a little bit more during lessons so that they can have unbiased peer-to-peer interactions and more different streams interactions? This is what we call the celebrations of diversity. In diversity, you learn skills that will be very difficult for you to learn through the textbooks. The way that you have to learn to interact, to be able to give and take, to be able to work in teams. These skills are very necessary for you to be effective leaders for the future. Finally, I'm going to talk about access. How do you come to Swiss Cottage? The physical means to come to Swiss Cottage. You can come to Swiss Cottage via buses, but we are being advantaged because we have the MRT station at Bukit Gombak very near to us. I take only 7 minutes to walk from Bukit Gombak MRT station to school, and it is mostly sheltered all the way. How do you qualify for Swiss Cottage? I've given you the 2021 cutoff as well as the indicative PSLE score range. We do not know exactly what the cutoff will be for this year, just like any other year, but this is a good guess of what you should be looking for. So if you have scored 11 and under, that's for the express course. 21 and 22 points, that's for the normal academic course. 25 and 26 points, that's for the normal technical course. I have some parents who have asked me, if I've scored 20 points, can I apply to Swiss Cottage normal academic course? Answer is no, unfortunately. You must qualify for that course, and if you have qualified for the express course, then you would need to come in as an express course student. When you come in, we have also some rewards for you. Because of the generosity of some of our sponsors, we have scholarships being created, and we hope that you will come in, work hard for it to qualify for some of these scholarships. For more information, you may refer to our website, our Instagram page, or Facebook pages. Thank you for your attention. I'm going to leave you with my teachers and students who will be introducing you to the various programs and their experiences that they have gone through in Swiss Cottage. I'll be back later on for a question and answer segment. I'll see you later.
Student learning and experiences in Swiss Cottage are planned through careful thoughts and are aligned to national policies and the ever-changing educational landscapes. Now, let's take a peek into the thoughts of our HODs.
English is not only the language of knowledge and information, but of the internet and technology, of science and world trade. In Swiss Cottage, we believe that English is the tool that enables our students to bridge cultures, to communicate empathetically, and to co-construct knowledge in multi-modes. So with Swiss programs like Drama Appreciation, Creative Arts programs, and the Model United Nations, we expose learners to rich texts and reflective thinking, to encourage learners to articulate their thoughts and to advocate for causes that they feel passionately about. Because English has the power to impact, to effect, and to affect. So as Oliver Holmes said, English is the blood of the soul into which thoughts run and out of which they grow.
Mathematics plays an integral role in equipping students with the necessary knowledge and skills to think logically, critically, and analytically. In Swiss Cottage, we provide appropriate learning experiences to help students relate learning to real life. We design authentic learning tasks which help students to learn to apply thinking routines to solve real-world problems. Our Mathematics Olympiad training program challenges and excites students with greater passion and interest in the subject to deepen their knowledge in the discipline. All this help our students to develop the capacity to participate and strive in the future economy and society.
The science curriculum in Swiss revolves around inquiry-based learning, hinging on a series of hands-on activities designed for students with the aim to inspire them to develop stronger passion and fundamental in science. In Swiss, our science curriculum ties in closely with our ALP in sustainable development. We have designed our curriculum to align to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. This allows our students to gain more awareness of global and local issues, explore the actions they can both take in their capacity as students now or leaders for tomorrow, and provide them with platforms to advocate worthy causes.
In Singapore, bilingualism is especially important as it is what makes us unique as a nation. The learning of our mother tongue languages enables us to know our roots and to have a sense of identity. Through Mother Tongue Fortnight, cultural camp, learning journeys, and horizon trips, Swiss Mother Tongue Department creates an immersive environment to equip our students with the linguistic skills, allowing them to see the relevance of learning mother tongue in their lives and to achieve practical language competence. As a typical neighborhood school, we offer the study of Chinese and Malay literature for students to learn their mother tongue at a deeper level and to better appreciate the culture as well. 母语让你扎根本土，面向世界。
In the literature classroom, we experience what life is. In Swiss Cottage, we explore the minds of many wonderful writers across poetry, drama, and prose. We step into the multiple worlds of various fictional characters that we encounter through carefully designed activities. We help students recognize that the characters they read about are real and relevant to their lives. We help them realize that beyond stories, these books also display masterful combinations of word choice and techniques. We invite them to ponder and savor words, and finally, build meaningful connections to their own lives and the world they live in. We show them how intriguing it is that one writer can offer so many interpretations. And we make literature accessible by providing our students with tangible tools to enter texts independently and develop confidence in their own voice so that each student can walk away satisfied with his view and his ability to justify his position.
Humanities is the study of aspects of human society and culture, from past events and achievements to contemporary human relationships and interactions. In this fast-evolving, high-tech, high-digital time, where resources are also fast depleting in some societies, it is even more pertinent that our students are taught how to make sound decisions to navigate the increasingly complex world. Hence, we offer a full suite of humanities subjects of geography, history, as well as literature, even at the upper secondary level. At the foundation of it all, we are developing the hearts and minds of world citizens with our customized inquiry, projects, and learning journeys, both in and outside Singapore. While we don't have a choice to be born in a world we want to live in, we can make it better with our decisions and actions in humanities education.
The department aims to equip Swiss students with creative thinking skills and aesthetic appreciation. We design our programs to create opportunities for students to experience authentic learning and seek solutions to real-life problems through collaborative work. In order to harness the lower secondary students' inventive and critical thinking skills, an integrated project was designed to include these subjects, like art, design and technology, food and consumer education, and music. The integrated project aims to give an authentic learning experience that allows students to synergize the various disciplines and to show gratitude to their loved ones.
The vision of our Swiss PE department is to nurture all our students to be healthy and fit, thoughtful leaders. The mission of our Swiss PE department is to equip every Swiss student with the attitudes, skills, and knowledge to pursue and advocate a physically active and healthy lifestyle. To realize our Swiss vision, we focus our efforts on ensuring that Swiss students will acquire a range of movement skills. They will learn and apply movement concepts, principles, and strategies in various physical activities. In our PE lessons, Swiss students are taught to demonstrate safe practices during physical and daily activities, display positive personal and social behavior across different experiences, acquire and maintain health-enhancing fitness, as well as enjoy and value the benefits of living a physically active and healthy lifestyle. In order to further enhance our teaching and learning expertise and to develop more self-directed students, our Swiss PE department embarked on APEX, which stands for Assessment for Physical Education Excellence for all levels. For each of the assessed module, rubrics and gold standard videos were created to achieve more effective teaching by the teachers and learning by the students. Students will be heartened to see how iPads are used to bring about greater engagement and ownership. With the sports, skills and knowledge acquired in the PE lessons, Swiss students are provided platforms for them to apply what they have learned in friendly competitions. Special events organized by the students for the students include Swiss Cross Country, Swiss Olympics, Swiss SCSS Day, and Swiss Interclass Games. Through our Sports Leaders and PE Representatives program, we provide platforms of various skills for students to develop competencies in project conceptualization, planning, and management. We embarked on our journey to develop our Swiss Smart Eye Fitness system, which is a fully automated system to promote greater ownership and self-directedness, leading to lifelong sustained physical health and fitness for our thoughtful leaders.
In CCE, Swiss Cottage students learn value, life skills, social and emotional competencies that shape their lives. As a school, we provide a good student experience that will prepare them to navigate through the complexities of life. We have a wide range of programs, including weekly CCE lessons, and during post-exam periods, we let you play. We do customize the program for different levels. For example, in lower sec, we have the theme of gratitude that integrates CCE with music, FCE, as well as art. While for upper sec, we have contemporary issues discussion as well as greater focus in post-secondary education.
Our Learning for Life program is tied to our school's vision to develop every student into a thoughtful leader who advocates meaningful and sustainable change in the environment. We get all our students to think reflectively, to care for the community, the nation and the world, and also to step forward to lead to serve. First, to think like a thoughtful leader, he has to be reflective. By that, we want them to consider multiple perspectives, to question assumptions, and to be able to reframe and think positively in the face of challenges. We do this through a school-based curriculum called Global Perspectives. These are lessons in the lower secondary where we teach thinking skills within thematic modules like inclusivity, migrant society, and multiculturalism. The students are encouraged to articulate and exchange perspectives on contemporary issues so as to develop more informed opinions on things that matter to them. The lessons help the students open their minds to many considerations that go into making responsible decisions.
Swiss ALP is designed using the 3A approach: awareness, actions, and advocacy. This approach is in alignment with our school's goals of developing reflective and purposeful lifelong learners. As such, we help to create awareness in our students about sustainability through our lower secondary science curriculum. Our lower secondary lessons focus on hands-on activities that are guided by the 5E inquiry cycle. Then we have our specialization programs to provide platform for our students to take actions and advocate. We also have a science Talent Development Program, abbreviated to Science TDP. Under Science TDP, students get to attend workshops and learning journeys to tertiary institutions and participate in various science competitions such as Tan Kaki Young Inventors Award, Future Transport Challenge, Singapore Junior Water Prize, etc. Science TDP students advocate how every one of us can do to help to secure a future for ourselves, our children and grandchildren through the morning assembly, so that the future generation will look back and say that their ancestors have done their best to leave them a habitable planet. There is a saying that the students today are the leaders tomorrow. However, with today's existential threat like climate change, we start to see more and more of young people making their voices heard, becoming an agent of change. It seems like today they are the students and at the same time the leaders. There is a strong movement in the world where young people no longer wait for adults to do something about their futures. As such, we want to impart the right values so that the younger generation becomes not just any leaders, but thoughtful leaders who will make the right decisions in difficult times, or wise decisions that ensure our shared future.
Nothing beats hearing from the students themselves. Let's hear what some of my seniors have to say on how their dreams are being built in Swiss Cottage.
Hey Huyen.
Oh, hi Media. What's up?
Nothing much. What about you?
I'm looking at the yearbook and I missed the Horizon trip.
Same. I remember that we got to choose between Shanghai, Thailand and Vietnam. I went to Shanghai. What about you?
I went to Bangkok in Thailand. During the trip, we went to a local school and taught the Thai students how to play our traditional games. In exchange, they taught us their traditional Thai dance. You?
My most memorable part of the trip was we went to the Wuzhen ancient water town. We were exposed to the customs and ways of life in ancient China. It was truly an eye-opener for me. I also got to try out many Chinese foods, such as xiaolongbao. Just reminiscing about it makes my mouth water.
Wow, speaking of food, I tried a candy called the angel hair. It was sweet and yummy. Anyways, what do you take away from the trip?
The trip helped me become more confident and more aware of the things happening around me, such as communism and stereotypes that are present in China. I learned to always look at things at different perspectives and opinions before judging something based solely on my own perspective.
Yeah, that's true. You know, this trip gave me the opportunity to experience things which I would otherwise not have experienced in Singapore. I definitely had no regrets going there.
To find out more, join our Swiss family. Put us as your first choice.
Hi everyone, I'm Chewon and I was a student from Westview Primary School.
Hey everyone, I'm Pushka and I'm a student from Unity Primary School. Well, hey Chewon, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing really great. Despite the tough day, I could get some much needed rest in the D Hangout.
Oh, could you elaborate more on what you did there?
As you can see, D Hangout is a place in our school where we can play a variety of games such as PS4 and virtual reality activities. I really enjoyed my time with my friends there.
I see. I think you really had a blast. By the way, I was wondering, what was your thought process behind joining Swiss Cottage?
Oh well, you see, I'm a person who is inclined to going to a school which is more than just academically adept.
That's true. You know, we recently inaugurated our school's iCreate and we also have added facilities in the D Hangout.
Right, and both of them serve different purposes. The iCreate is a place that allows us to use facilities such as the 3D printers and the 3D pens to design our own creations, while the D Hangout is for us to relax after a long day at school.
With the addition of the new coffee place near the D Hangout, students can also purchase quality drinks made from professional student baristas.
Oh, that's very cool. But this actually made me wonder, wouldn't the facilities affect my studies and make me lose my focus?
Your concern is valid. In our school, we all believe that we are all an independent leader, and as such we are always encouraged to do our work before using these facilities. Also, we are always reminded of our self-directed learning journey.
Oh,
Oh, I see. I definitely have not seen any of the facilities outside of our school.
Yes, me too. And I can't wait to reap more of the benefits that our school's facilities will bring to us.
Oh yes. With this, we hope to see you in Swiss Cottage next year.
See you then.
Hello everyone, I'm Nanda and I'm Kristen, and we are the Vice Presidents of the Student Council. We will be sharing about our experience in the Student Council and our growth as student leaders in Swiss Cottage. Nanda, would you like to begin?
Sure, Kristen. When I first set foot in Swiss Cottage, the environment was something new and I was quite reserved and uncertain. However, as days passed, Swiss Cottage became a safe, comfortable and happy place where I found myself enjoying, learning and growing. To be specific, growing into a thoughtful leader. Swiss Cottage is indeed a home of thoughtful leaders, and now looking back, I will never regret choosing Swiss Cottage. It is here that I learned the true meaning of leadership, and in the Student Council, I was able to practice it. Joining Student Council, one of the main student leadership bodies in Swiss, has been one of my best decisions ever. It served as a platform for me to learn how to become a better version of myself and also hone my leadership skills. In the Council family, we were able to pick up skills such as project planning, adaptability, effective communication, and as well as mediation. Not only that, with the experience that I had leading the prefectorial board in my primary school, I wanted to challenge my leadership capacity further by standing in the Student Council presidential elections, which was held earlier this year, with support from my friends and guidance from my teachers. And now, I'm here standing talking to all of you as the Vice President of Student Council, together with Kristen. To wrap up, one thing about the Student Council is that every single one is given an opportunity to shine and as well as use their strengths to run the various different events run by the Student Council.
That's right, Nanda. Your experience in the Student Council seems wholesome. As for me, when I was in primary school, I didn't get the chance to become a prefect. So, when Swiss Cottage was recruiting new SCs, I knew that I needed to challenge myself. Before joining Student Council, I was a timid and shy girl who didn't dare to come out of my comfort zone. In the Student Council, we encourage one another to open up, step up, and take initiative in projects. Our Student Council motto is to serve with integrity and distinction. With that, we take commitment in our duties and we take responsibilities for our actions. During my 3 years in Student Council, I have made strong friendships with my peers and had the chance to strengthen my leadership skills. Swiss Cottage is where we give every student a chance in holding a leadership role. My teachers and seniors have offered me a chance to take up the role as Vice President. With the tremendous support and encouragement from my seniors and teachers, I hope to continue this by supporting my juniors.
Wow, Kristen, you have grown so much as a student leader since Sec 1. I just love how the Student Council gives each councillor an opportunity to understand their leadership potential even more.
I agree. Why don't we wrap up our sharing with some events and projects worked on by the Student Council? This includes Teachers' Day, Graduation Day, Town Hall Conference, and we even got the opportunity to attend leadership conferences.
To conclude, it gives us great pleasure in sharing with you about our experiences in the Student Council and our overall growth as student leaders in Swiss. We hope that you too will join the Swiss family and start on your journey of developing into thoughtful leaders and socially responsible, future-ready citizens. Put us as your first choice.
whatever like suits you, you just go for it, because overall this wants you to have an all-rounded experience.
We have now
A very good morning to everyone. Welcome to Swiss Cottage Virtual Open House. Unfortunately, we still cannot bring you to Swiss Cottage to show you how wonderful the school is. But thanks to everyone in front of me right now, I have several students, teachers who have supported the Virtual House production. This is what your child will learn to do, to be a thoughtful leaders if they choose to join us. They'll learn to be independent, they'll learn deep skills that are useful, and they're able to transfer it across the various components of their lives. They'll be young ladies, young gentlemen, ready to serve, ready to face the world. I'm Mr. Cheng here. Welcome again. Before I start answering some of the questions, can I just invite you again once more to join us at slido.com, and the code is S942. You may post any of the questions as we move along in this Q&A. This Q&A session is definitely live, so whatever questions you post, I try my best to answer the questions. Okay, I think the first question has been really asked quite a few times about badminton for boys as a CCA. So unfortunately, at this moment, we don't have the resources, especially the physical resources, to offer badminton for boys. We had to consider various challenges. So one of the key things is really the experience of our students, whether or not we have enough physical resources to be able to cater for that. In the last 2 years with COVID, we have not been able to do any CCAs over an extended period of time in the external venue. So we have considered having badminton in an external venue to allow that to happen, but unfortunately, if we have to make the decision right now, it is not going to be very conducive. So at this moment, we have no intention to offer badminton for boys. We continue to offer basketball for boys, soccer for boys, floorball for boys, as well as bowling for boys. So there are quite a few options for sports if you would like to join us. Ladies have 3 options for sports, that is floorball, badminton, and basketball. Okay. How many choices of CCA can we choose in Swiss Cottage? We have a wide range of CCAs. In total, 19 different CCA groups. This is excluding the combined type of CCAs, for example, let's say basketball with both boys and girls, we count it as one. So 19 different CCAs. In the sports, clubs and society, performing arts, as well as uniform groups. So you have a lot of choices to choose from. Okay. For more information about our CCAs, for more information about our choices, please visit our website. You will be able to find interesting options in Swiss Cottage. Okay, the next question, very important question. Would I be able to share the typical school hours with and without CCA sessions? Okay. Academic IP areas, your academic learning, we start the school day at 7:35. 7:35 to 8 o'clock, that's where the form teachers will be taking your child. Then at 8 o'clock, the first lesson starts. At 8 o'clock all the way until, for Sec 1s and Sec 2s, you end between 2 to 3 o'clock on a daily basis, with the exception of Fridays. Fridays, all students will end school at 12:30. CCAs takes place after academic learning, and in secondary schools, CCAs are compulsory. In other words, your child would need to take part in at least one CCA, and we would like to advise at most also one CCA. And CCAs happens twice a week, and each session will last between 2 hours to 3 hours. So let's say CCA was, usually we will program it such that the CCA days, the lessons will end at 3 o'clock, and then CCA starts at 3:30. So between 2 to 3 hours in terms of duration means it will be, your school days will end between 5:30 to 6:30. Okay, that's 2 days. And what will be different for your child is that this year we have started what we call the blended learning experience. Blended learning experience means that every fortnight, every 2 weeks, one Friday will be a home-based learning day. Okay, so if you think of the curriculum from a 2 weeks perspective, 9 days, your child comes to school. On the 10th day, the even week Fridays, they will do home-based learning. You have heard that all our students have been equipped with the iPad, and that is an important learning tool for all our students. So we'll be giving all our parents a deeper brief once you join us on what to do, how to get the iPad, and what are the software, what are the apps that needs to be included inside the iPad for your child to really experience a good learning experience. Okay. Next. Due to COVID, there's not many CCA sessions and competition. And this question is specific to dance. Okay, so I think I will answer this in a more general basis. I believe this question is more related to DSA. If you are interested in joining us via DSA, that will be for the 2023 Set 1 batch. Don't worry about the fact that COVID has curtailed a lot of the activities. We have been able to make use of different learning tasks or different performance tasks as part of our selection requirement for DSA. And so far, we have been able to provide our students who are being shortlisted for the interviews and the performance tasks with sufficient time for them to really display their skills. What we are also looking for is potential, right? Whether or not your child has the flexibility, for example, if let's say we're looking at dance, the flexibility, the physical attribute to be able to pick up the necessary skills in dance. And because everyone is affected in the same way, so you don't have to worry, go for your passion. If you're interested in, let's say, the sports, the dance, even though the primary schools may not have the CCA sessions for you to really practice, do it at home, do it with your friends, learn. And with that learning attitude, you will really have an edge when you apply to join us for DSA in 2023. For those students who are coming in via Set 1 posting and you already have certain sets of skills, even though you do not have enough experience at the primary school CCAs because of COVID, don't worry. When we send students for trials, okay, so a lot of our CCAs will select the students based on trials. We are not just looking at your absolute skill at this point. We will be looking at your aptitude, your attitude, how passionate you are for that area. I know for sure, for example, Swiss Winds, our band, they take in a lot of students with very, very little background, but willing to learn. Same for the rest of the performing arts group. PMC, our Publication and Media Club, also. Many students came in without knowing how to take photographs. They may not know how to do videos, but we take them in because we know that they have a certain potential to be groomed. Sports, same. We have reserved enough places for sports CCAs so that students who have not come in via DSA will still have a good chance to get into any of our sporting groups. Okay? So I hope I answered that question. You don't have to worry so much. If you are really interested in dance, for example, make use of this holiday, and I believe you are quite free right now after the PSLE. Beef up your dancing skills. Come 2022, you join us. Apply to join one of our dances, and based on your attitude and your aptitude, I believe you have a good chance of coming in. Okay. Next, apart from academic and leadership building, any emphasis on character building, as we know teenagers at this age has their own mind and are also easily influenced. Character building is the core element of our leadership building process. So when we talked about our students being thoughtful leaders, the central theme that we are looking at is character building. Character building, being able to tell what's right, what's wrong, moral reasoning is being developed in our students through various platforms on a daily basis with their interactions with the form teachers. But we have special programs, for example, the Executive Functioning Skills Program, our Outward Mindset Leadership Skills Program, and also a Global Perspectives Program. We call it GP. Global Perspectives means global and local perspectives coming together. They will learn to understand different perspectives. Some right perspectives, some not so right perspectives, some perspectives that can be quite grey in nature, and to be able to make good decisions. So rest assured, in Swiss Cottage, we call our school a character first education school. Character first, others will come because the character is right. There are also other character that we aim to build, especially resilience. Resilience is going to be very important because every one of us, including myself, will face failure. To different degrees. Some failures may be huge, some failures may be small little things, but we need to be able to pick ourselves up and continue to grow, continue to move. And those are our key emphasis. Okay. I noticed that the AL for Express is 4 to 11. Okay. Would my child have any chances for Express if he scored an AL of 12 to 20? Okay. So the 4 to 11 for Express is a simulated range based on the 2020 PSLE cohort choices. So the 2020 PSLE parents and students, based on their scores, who have made certain choices, and these choices MOE would have taken, and they have done a certain simulation to estimate what is the cutoff for Swiss Cottage and for other schools. We expect this to be accurate, but there could be a plus minus 1 or 2. In other words, if your child has got 12, do he or she still stand a chance of coming into Swiss Cottage? Actually, answer is yes. We don't know, but answer is possible, right? So what is a possible strategy? So if your child has got 12, then very likely you need to put Swiss Cottage as your first choice to have a chance. Because now choice do matter. You have 6 choices. Make use of these 6 choices in totality. The first choice could be the school that you really want to go into, even though you may not have met the cutoff by 1 point, 2 points. Anything more than that, I think, quite tough, right? Your second choice, your third choice, all the way to the 6th choice. Make sure that you have at least 2 choices. Let's say you've gotten 12 points, you should have at least 2 choices that have schools that are in the indicative region of 13 and 14. That in that case, you are quite safe. Having said that, I have, even in the previous PSLE system, I have met parents who came in to appeal to Swiss Cottage that they have chosen schools that are actually better or at what they are the cutoff for the PSLE score of the child. And out of all the 6 choices, they didn't get into any. So that is the situation that you should not get yourself into. Okay, so choose wisely, make use of the 6 choices, choose a range of schools such that the AL cutoff will have a certain range. Okay. The next question. Handphone policy, very important question. Actually, the answer is with the exception of the trace together token. There's no need for your child to have a handphone in school. Okay? However, we don't stop our students from bringing the handphone to school, not only because they need it for the trace together act, but also I think it is the convenience of communication. Parents may need to communicate or to send instruction to the kids, for example, pick up time, drop off time, and so on. So I have not stopped our students from bringing the handphone to school. But our requirements is very clear. During lesson time, no usage of the handphone unless being allowed by the teachers. Why? Because we don't want your child to be distracted, and in terms of learning device, they have the iPad already, so they don't really need the handphone. There's no need for you to subscribe to the data plan for the handphones because the whole school is fully Wi-Fi enabled. So with the iPad is also not the 4G, 5G type iPad. It is one with Wi-Fi only because there's really no need for your child to come with a mobile data plan. We are fully covered in terms of Wi-Fi, and for the iPads, there's no need even for the locked-in. The moment your child switch on the iPad, the school system automatically recognizes that it is a school-enabled iPad. It belongs to one of our staff or students. They automatically allowed the logging on to the Wi-Fi without us having to do anything. So that's the convenience. For handphones, if your child brings to school, they can log in using their SSOE account and use the school Wi-Fi. So really, data plan is not so necessary for students at Swiss Cottage. Okay, what happened if we had a DSA confirmed offer and we scored 12 to 20? Can I still get into Swiss Cottage? Well, the express answer is yes. So the DSA offer that we give, for example, if it is a confirmed offer, it is a firm offer. If you have accepted it, your child has gotten into express 20 points and under, they come in. You do not need to meet our cutoff point once you have been given the offer and once you accepted the offer. However, if your child has got 21 points, 22 points, then your child is in the so-called option band for Express and NA. Then you have to choose whether or not you want your child to start off in Express or NA. We will have a word with you to help you decide your choice. Under 22, then your child would need to be doing the normal academic stream or the normal technical course. Okay, so a quick clarification really is that the confirmed offer for DSA is a confirmed offer, and the only reason why you can't get into Swiss Cottage is if you fail PSLE, which is quite unlikely. Okay, next. If I DSA via Chinese Orchestra, can I still join another CCA even though one of the CCA days clash? I think it's not clash. Okay, if you have come to join us via DSA, it is a two-way commitment, right? You have committed to come in this case, Chinese Orchestra. Then we expect in the first year, especially, that you are fully committed to Chinese Orchestra. Likewise, if you have chosen to join us via basketball, badminton, the band, then at least in the first year, please stick to the commitment, because the school has also given our commitment to accept you, and your commitment, our commitment is regardless of your PSLE performance. We take you regardless of that. I've explained just now. And the only reason why we cannot keep to that commitment is if you have to repeat PSLE, which is very unlikely. Okay, and because both sides have made that commitment, I think let's really teach our child to be principled in a way that we honor our commitments. At the end of the first year, if there are good reasons why there should be a change, we'll engage you and your child to understand the reasons. So there have been cases, for example, if let's say a child comes in via sports and he or she gets into a long-term injury and can no longer play the sports, or at least cannot pursue the sports at the level that he or she wishes to, then yes, based on those grounds, we have allowed for the changes. For the rest of the students who comes in via the Sec 1 posting, we encourage you to continue with your chosen CCA for the duration of your 4 years to 5 years with us. However, we have allowed for changes for CCA. The reason why we have encouraged you to continue in the CCA is so that you are able to develop deep friendships, deep skills in specific chosen area of interest, and more importantly, because the way that you select your CCAs is really by your choice. You get an offer, you accept it. So again, it is about honoring your commitment. In Swiss Cottage, choice, our students' choice is a very important factor for us. We have recognized our students' choices in many different ways, including the selection of CCAs as well as the Sec 3 subject combination. We strive to give our students their first choice. I just give you a quick statistics. More than 92% of our students in both express, normal academic course got their first choice for their Sec 3 subject combination. Okay. Next, which day will CCA take place? Okay, so typically our CCAs will happen on Monday and Thursdays. Typically. Some CCAs, I think Boys Brigade, they will have one day during the weekdays, and the second day will be on a Saturday because the volunteer adult leaders are only available on the Saturday. So that's the only exception. The rest, Monday and Thursday, we are still checking whether or not, for example, bowling, because it's taking part in external venue, whether or not we are able to go out to external venue because of COVID, and whether or not we are able to get the venues for the external training. So otherwise, it's Monday and Thursdays. Okay, what motivates your students to be happy and enjoy going to school? I've gone around asking our students what makes them happy coming to school. The top 2 reasons. The first reason, friends. Happy friends, happy students. Our students are very kind, they are very cheerful, lovable. I would say lovable. I'm looking in front of me, several students, very lovable students. And that will be the number 1 reasons. The second reason they have given me what makes them happy coming to school are the teachers. In my presentation just now, I've shown you examples of our extremely caring teachers. And they are the ones who will be facing your child, taking care of your child for 8 hours or up to 10 hours in a single day. And that means that they are going to be the key critical adults in your child's life. So we have very good teachers, very, very good students. Combining together, it has made Swiss Cottage a highly lovable school. Okay? Of course, programs-wise, as far as possible, we have a lot of programs that caters for the different interests of your child. And we have made a lot of this optional. In other words, this is the full buffet that we provide. We don't force the students to eat a specific range of food. A lot will be based on their interests. Of course, the core, what we call the substance, right, will be important. For example, the academic learning, the character development, the leadership development, these are the core ones. We don't give up. but the rest, enrichment, are optionals. Okay. Next, how many classes for Set 1? Okay, I don't have the exact data at this moment for next year, so I can't answer this question. Usually the ministry will be the one making a decision based on the demand across the different zones in Singapore. In the past, what we have will be around 5 classes of express students, 2 classes of normal academic, 1 class of normal technical. These numbers fluctuate year on year depending on the population around Swiss Cottage and the other schools. Okay? The next question, very important question about students using the iPad for learning. Maybe I just borrow an iPad from a student in front, Kirsten. Can I just borrow an iPad? Thank you. Thank you. So this shows that this is quite a live session. Apple Pencil, keyboard, and the iPad. It comes in one package, and this particular package is actually quite affordable. What happened is that our students have several apps being installed, and one of the apps, for example, installed inside there is GoodNotes 5. Our teachers will be able to download worksheets, notes for students, and the students will be able to, for example, take down their own notes in the handwritten form or the typewritten form. They can choose to type, they can choose to write. But the advantage of GoodNotes 5, for example, is that whatever it is, text or handwritten notes, it is able to allow our students to search. So, a few things. Number one, this is an organizational tool. Organizational tool for students to be able to organize their learning materials, organize their day, using the calendar, using all the apps to really structure their learning. This is a self-learning, self-directed learning tool. It is knowledge at the power of the hands of the students anytime, anywhere. Our students will learn to be independent. They will learn to use this technology to deepen their area of interest, because with the technology, they are able to do a lot more. So we will therefore have to train, develop all our students to become effective users of technology. Thank you, Kirsten. I would say that by and large, a vast majority of students have used the technology effectively. I've gone around the different classes. The students are busy taking down the notes, surfing the web to look for additional information while the teachers are teaching. We don't disallow that. Very rarely do we see students being distracted. And when the students are distracted, we go in and intervene. So we have classroom strategies, for example, how they lay their iPads, the 180 degrees mode, for example, that's what it's called, in order to ensure that our students do not stray. All the iPads are also equipped with what we call the Digital Management app. In other words, we will be able to have a good sense of how your child is using the iPad. And if your child is not using it in the correct way, that's where our teachers can come in to intervene. All right. Okay. What other character building activities do Swiss has in plan in 2022 and beyond? Okay, so character building activities includes the CCE lessons, we have the orientation camp, and we have several other leadership development courses. So for example, all our students will take what we call the executive functioning skills courses. And talks about resilience, talks about stress management, talks about how they organize themselves. That's part of character. You have performance character, moral character. So performance character part, no issue. Quite a lot of programs over there. Our students at Sec 1 and Sec 2 will also attend the Global Perspectives program. The Global Perspectives program is a key character development program because it teaches your child what is right, what's wrong, and what's the range of possibly correct responses. Okay, because there are a lot of gray areas that they need to navigate. Leadership development camps and so on is also planned for many of our students. And in leadership development, character building is key, is core to it. The CCAs are critical in terms of character development. With teachers, for example, or sportsmen, that winning is not everything. It is important to develop themselves to be good enough to win, but it cannot be winning at the expenses of their own character. So all this are part and parcel of the full package. The child will be actually quite busy in school. Many of them continues to stay in school beyond the school hours. At times I have to go around and ask them, can you go home? Okay, next. I'm mindful of time. Can I just take a quick check? 10 more minutes? Okay. Is the technical competency of a student assessed solely by examination or includes project works? Okay, so our students are being assessed using different modes of assessment. We have what we call assessment for learning, assessment of learning. Assessment for learning takes place consistently to help us understand, to help your child understand where they are and how they can improve. The assessment for learning are actually graded assessments, and this could be project works. It could also be coursework, creating of artifacts, pen and paper assessment. So we do use a range of examination, assessment materials to assess your child's competency. What we are also mindful of is that a large number of students eventually, when they exit Swiss Cottage, will exit either via the DSA, JC, EAE, early admissions exercise for the poly, or the early admission exercise for the ITE. And therefore, that range of experience, their portfolio, will be key for them to be able to make the application to the next step. So yes, we do have portfolios for our students, coursework for our students, project work for our students, and one of the key project work that our students do is at the end of, in Sec 2, where they do the Swiss Dream Maker program. Yes, the Dream Maker program. Suddenly slipped my mind. I apologize for that. Okay, so that is a project work that is done by all our students at Sec 2. Okay. Thanks for a reply about robotics. What kind of achievements and opportunities in science and technology CCA? I do have some teachers in front of me. We take part. So our Science and Technology Club, S&T, we call that in short, does have a robotics arm to it. And they take part in competitions, for example, the first Lego League. Off the top of my mind, I cannot remember what is the award that they have won, but I remember they came in first in, I think, presentation category under the first Lego League. I need to check, and I'll get back to you on some of the achievements. But let's look just beyond achievements, because really the process of developing, preparing the kids, our students, for those competitions is also important. Many of our students comes in without any background in coding, without any background in robotics, but yet they have continued to develop and do well. In fact, I think one of the students seated in front of me, her sister is part of the S&T and took part in robotics competition. She may not have won something, but the whole process have really taught her to become a very strong, thoughtful leader. Okay. My daughter likes badminton and plays at beginner to intermediate level, not competitive. Will she get a chance? Okay. Yes, actually, for badminton CCA, I'm a badminton player, so I do go up and join the students for training once in a while. And we have taken in students at the intermediate beginners level. So year on year, we will gauge how many students make an application, and we will actually recruit a range of students up to maximum 12 in a year. Why 12 in a year? If you take it from a 4-year perspective, 12 in a year would mean 48 students. And 48 students in 4 courts would mean a lot of students already. So yes, if your child is already at the beginner intermediate level, they can still join, they take part in the trials, and after the trials, we will have programs to beef up their skills level. Okay, so I would say typically, if I look at the current Sec 1s to Sec 4s, around 5 of them are at advanced level. The rest are either at intermediate or beginners level when they started off. Okay, so around 7 students at beginner and intermediate level. And by the time they end with us, the beginners will usually become intermediate or even advanced. I still remember the current vice captain of Swiss Flames, they call themselves Swiss Flames, Tierra. She came in with 0 skills. Now she's one of the best doubles player. Sometimes I'll find it difficult to beat her. Okay. Next, how many days of orientation do we have, and what things do you do during orientations instead of playing some games? Okay, there's a wide range of orientation activities, including, for example, getting you to know your seniors, getting you to know your classmates, getting you to understand the layout of the school so that you know where to go after the orientation week. The orientation group leaders are your seniors, and they will be taking you through the entire range of activities. So next year, our plan is that we have 3 days of of orientation for Sec 1s with 1 additional day of CCA orientation. So in total 4 days. You start school on a Tuesday. So for Tuesday all the way to Friday, that will be the orientation. The following week, then you start lessons as per normal. So yes, it's not only games. It is, and these are just not any games being designed, but these are games being designed to allow the new classes to form, to bond, and for you all to get to know your seniors as well as your teachers. So other activities will include, for example, we will give you several briefing. There are certain executive functioning skills that we have put into it so that you can start the year right, you can start your Sec 1 journey. Because the transition from primary school to secondary school is not easy. A lot of differences. The first difference is that you spend a lot more time in school. Second difference is that instead of 4 subjects, you're now taking 8 to 9 subjects. So the ability to multitask, to be able to learn different things, connect things together becomes more critical at the secondary school level, and that will be what we will be trying to help you gain during the orientation, but also throughout your journey with us. I'm going to take the last 2 questions. The first question, what are the programs offered to secondary 1 students? Okay, so besides the typical program that we have, academic learning for English, mathematics, sciences, humanities, and so on, the CCAs, we have 2 key areas. One is the Learning for Life program, as well as the Applied Learning program. Our Learning for Life program is in the area of thoughtful leadership, and in secondary 1, they will take a module called the Global Perspectives program, and that will happen in 1 semester, 2 periods per week. This program has been found very useful, especially for students who eventually go to the junior college and take the general paper, because it exposes your child to general knowledge, to world issues, to issues affecting Singapore. The second type of program that everyone takes will be the Applied Learning program, and in Swiss Cottage, it is the Sustainable Development in the Sciences. So at Sec 1, they'll be learning how to design green buildings, sustainable buildings, and in Sec 2, they'll be looking at how to serve or how to act as a scientist, looking at water qualities and so on. In addition, our students, depending on interests, may choose to take part in things like Math Olympiad, Science Talent Development Program, as well as our General Talent Development Program, which cumulates eventually for them to lead the school, to run, for example, school events like the Swiss Model United Nations. So these are things that are all packaged. We have no shortage of program. My advice to our students is that choose carefully. Don't take everything because you don't want too much, you get indigestion. Okay. Last question I'm going to take, and the question is the previous results of Swiss graduates for O-levels, passing and distinctions. Okay. In Swiss Cottage, we don't usually talk about passes. We talked about the proportion of students who have scored 6 distinctions or better. I think in my previous slides, you're looking at around 40% of students being able to hit that, as well as how many students who are able to qualify for the JCs, and how many students, the proportion of students who are able to qualify for the polytechnics. 90% of our 4 express students qualify for the JC courses. 90% qualify doesn't mean 90% goes, right? They all depend still on their choices. 100% of our 4 express students qualifies for the polytechnic. What about those doing normal academic, normal technical courses? Normal academic course, our students have done way beyond the expectation. 1/3 of them would have qualified for the Poly Foundation course, which is only offered to 12%, the top 12% of the Singapore NA population. But 33% or sometimes even more qualifies for that. Our normal technical students also don't fret because the large majority of them actually got the course of their choice even before they take the N-levels via the ITE early admission exercise. So our preparation for our students for their upward articulation beyond Swiss Cottage is a holistic one. We don't just look at academic performance, we make sure that they will be able to go into their various courses of their choices using the different routes. And these different routes are important because they are aligned to your child's passion and interest. And with that, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us for the 9 o'clock segment. We have another segment at 11. The first segment will still be the same. The last segment, Q&A, I'll see what are the additional questions that I can answer. I hope to be able to see you, your child, to be thoughtful leaders in Swiss Cottage comes the end of this year where we are going to meet for Sec 1 registration. Thank you and all the best for your results release next Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Thank you.